So I'm back with another video. I just need to talk about this state of affairs that is going on at Chelsea right now, man. It's really bothersome. Um, as we all know, three out of the last four games they have lost by 3 goal margins, 5-2 to PSG in Paris. Then they lose 1-0 to Newcastle off the bridge. Then PSG come to the bridge, put on a training session against Chelsea at the bridge, and it just felt like a dark night the entire time. No pun intended. Also, as my shirt says here, I'm over it. I saw this at Target today, man, and I'm like, yeah, this is absolutely how I'm feeling right now. I'm absolutely over what is going on at the club right now. They lose 3-0 today, and the performance was just horrific, right? And, you know, there needs to be a conversation about the manager, the board, and these players. I'm going to get to the players first. There is a specific part in the game, man, where I'm gonna go scroll up. I'm in my likes right now. So take a look at this passage of play, right? Look at Palmer the entire time. While the play is still going on, he's complete. I mean, he's irate over the fact that Pedro Neto, the pass was intended for Palmer. It would have been a great pass into him to where he's gonna probably get a shot, and you don't know how Jordan Pickford is gonna react. Generally, Jordan Pickford has been making spectacular saves his entire career. He had one against Enzo Fernandez today, man. That was just absolutely sensational. If that went in, you're probably looking at a different game. But, you know, we move on from this. Cole Palmer's clearly losing his patience with Pedro Neto. It's just selfish play by him at the end of the day. You do all this just to get a wayward cross in, right? It's a good switch out wide to Malo Gusto at the end of it, but the original build up to this play was good. Pedro Neto just ruined it. Absolutely ruined it. And now we see this, right? And this is what I really want to talk about here. The players are a disgrace anyway. They've completely shot themselves in the foot with their performances, but it just goes to show that you sack this guy and everything goes out. Everything just goes to shit immediately. Enzo Fernandez spoke on it. Players in the dressing room feel the same way. They like playing for him. He had structure. He had discipline, not necessarily with the on-field display of getting the red card and stuff. That was his only, in my opinion, his only issue. Tactically, you can critique him. There's times where his football was boring to watch, but at the same time, we weren't this bad under him. There's no shot. Nobody could tell me that, right? You know, drop the ego, bend to his requests and conditions, pay him double, bring him back. I'm for this. You have to. I mean, I feel like he would be the only guy who can solve this because he's been through the mess already. That's what I'm saying. Like, I never left the Maresca Hive. I just moved on. It's dark days, though. We need some type of stability. There's people saying that, you know, we would be in the same position. I don't believe that whatsoever. Why? Because I find it ridiculous that a guy that went through a bad patch last season was somehow able to turn it around because he decided to actually take the shackles off the players and they actually started playing some free flowing football. The issue that Liam Rosenior has is that he just looks completely out of his depth in the Premier League. Maybe one day he'll be a manager that can actually get some decent results on his CV, but it's not working out for him. It just isn't. And the conversation with him needs to happen. You can sack him all you want, but the issues are still going to be there no matter what the situation is, right? You know, like you have to get rid of him. And who do you bring in? I've seen people say bring Enzo Maresca back, Felipe Luis Enrique, Xabi Alonso. It's like honestly, like why would any of them want to come to this club right now? Caicedo is a pale shadow of himself. Robert Sanchez lost his confidence. Cole Palmer is nowhere to be seen. Yeah, he's been missing all season. João Pedro stopped scoring goals. Esteval Willing looks like a child who is lost. Cucurella can't do it all. Enzo Fernandez plays like he wants to leave. The ship is sinking. It's been sinking since the Arsenal game back in November. Burned through hundreds of millions of cash to still give huge gaping holes 4 years later. Hired managers with weak CVs in comparison to the size of our club and hopes they'll be your perfect puppet. Then, when they speak out of line, they are changed instead of taking their advice and realize you were wrong. Refuse to alter or adapt the model, topped off with enormous egos. Nothing will change at Chelsea until the very top of the club changes. I've said it for years. I saw it early, and he did call it out early. I remember his original tweets about this. He was never a fan. We're still in a really strong position to qualify for the Champions League, but we have to now take advantage of that. You're in the worst position possible. I saw this earlier too. I had it on my stream. I don't know why he would want to go there, but to continue to talk about the state of affairs that you know is going on here, and like Khan sums it up perfectly as I was scrolling down the timeline here. Sarr is a perfect example of why both the Chelsea fan base, and the Strasbourg fan base are tired of this ownership. Sarr does nothing for Chelsea to help our defensive issues. For Strasbourg, he was an important player for them. Screwed over both clubs, and Sarr isn't ready for the Premier League. I was making the argument that he has to get the experience from somewhere, but he just isn't ready. It's too physical of a league for him at his age, and he's just not mentally or physically ready for it. So that's just something that I've noticed with them, honestly. Once upon a time at Chelsea, this was last season, man. This is Maresca ball, boys, and like this, like I mean, it's not Maresca ball; it's Jadon Sancho ball, really. That's what we're seeing. I mean, Jadon Sancho would also be struggling in this current setup, bro. He was struggling to get minutes last season, really. But in the games that he played, he didn't look bad. That was one of the goals of the season right here. When he finds Palmer on the inside, it's crazy. I mean, it's great skill. And then it's a great finish. Where's this Cole Palmer at? Where's he at? We're still trying to find him. Garnacho was awful in his 3-0 defeat to Everton. I mean, he came on at the half when the game was basically gone. But yeah, I can agree. I mean, he makes the run, and Cucurella just doesn't play him. See, but if Enzo scores that chance, people are probably saying that he had a like decent game, right? I don't know. Lean Rossini on Chelsea not scoring. If you keep arriving and creating, you will take them. It's not for lack of shots or final third entries. We need to be more clinical. I mean, when you're in the final third, you're not taking any of the opportunities you have. You're passing around. You're taking opportunities away from other players. We saw that with Pedro Neto today. I mean, we used to be a serious club. We did. Who remembers this, bro? And like, I want to touch on this. This is the last time, in my opinion, we saw the real Chelsea. I think this was right before the ownership change, like right before Roman Abramovich had to sell. This was the last time we saw the real Chelsea, bro. They're still lost in Madrid somewhere. They're still trying to find a flight back to London. Like, this is the last time that we saw them. Like, if we would have found a way to win this game, we're probably repeating as Champions League winners. Who misses Timo Werner right now, bro? That's funny. Dewsbury Hall, Chelsea fans don't know, but I was always better than Enzo. Yeah, we all know that, bro. Is this true? I mean, I hope so. I hope we see this sometime during the international break. He did once score 4 goals against Everton in one half. What happened? Because the entire team has dropped off. João Pedro has not scored or assisted in the last 4 games for Chelsea. Yeah, because the team has just been shit. In 3 of those games, we haven't scored. Yeah, that's what I've said. Enzo performance today, he probably already checked out. His focus right now is on the World Cup and making a move away from Chelsea in the summer. I'm pretty sure that 90% of the squad have given up on the season, especially when they look at the coach. Yeah, yeah, pretty straightforward. Yeah, yeah, I mean, look, man. This is what I'm going to really say, and I'm going to keep this video short. I'm not going to go insanely long on this. A few more minutes on this Blue Co thing, man. Blue Co need to get out. Like they absolutely do. It's getting dire, and you guys are single-handedly ruining a club that is a lifestyle. Honestly, like if we're going to keep it a buck, if we're going to keep it 100, private equity has no business being in the football world. It has absolutely no right to be in it. And when you're taking opportunities and you're sitting here, you know, sixth in the Premier League table, you've lost 3 of 5 in the league, you haven't won a game really since Wolves away. And even then, Wolves are the bottom team in the league. You should be getting points on that. But the last win at home was West Ham, where we were down 2-0 at the half. So results haven't been good. This is worse than the Graham Potter era of Chelsea. This is as dark as it's been under this ownership. Yeah, we finished 12th in the first year of this ownership, but let me tell you something. This is worse. Yes, we're sitting sixth, but it doesn't feel like we're sitting sixth, man. It feels like we're sitting 15th in the league, trying to stay in the league, bro. This team is missing. This team is a shell of itself. This team is still lost to Madrid and it's still lost somewhere in the Stamford Bridge dressing room after Caicedo got sent off. Like that's just the reality of what's happened. Enzo Fernandez has his head turned. Cole Palmer is getting frustrated with his teammates. João Pedro is not banging in the goals right now. Why? Because the rest of the team isn't creating enough. Moises, Moises Caicedo just looks tired, off the pace. He's being overran, overused. With the World Cup coming up, he probably has one eye turned now towards that. This is what I'm saying. Like it's a damn disgrace what is going on here. And we got to keep on voicing our opinions out here, man. Because at the end of the day, we want to get our club back. We got to continue to post the message. Protest on the 18th. Continue the protest outside of the bridge every single day until they get the message. Sacking Liam Rosini is not going to be the thing that solves everything. They need to pack up and sell up, bro. Like Arsenal are sitting with 3 losses in the league, bro. You realize Arsenal have conceded the same amount of goals as Como in Serie A? Put that into perspective, bro. And we've conceded 38 goals in the league in 31 games, which generally means you're conceding more than 1 goal a game, which means your defense is wide open, which means your defense is dog shit, which means that players need to be sold in the summer, and which means this ownership needs to start buying players of experience. Are they going to do that? No, because their ownership model is not going to change. We can do wishful thinking which players would fit into what part of the team, but until this ownership group leaves, bro, we're not signing anybody of real quality. We're not signing anybody of real talent. And we're just going to continue to sign these young cats that aren't going to see the first team anytime soon. So, again, Chelsea lose 3-0. They sit sixth in the Premier League. They will be sitting sixth in the Premier League for about 3 weeks to really marinate on the fact that when they come back, there's 7 games left in the season. How bad do you guys want the Champions League? How bad do you guys want it? How bad does Enzo Fernandez really want to stay at Chelsea and win the Champions League with Chelsea? Like he said, his goal is to win the Premier League or the Champions League with Chelsea. How bad do you want it, bro? And you've been one of the better performers. But if your head's turned, you also need to rally the troops and try to get this team in the Champions League. If you get us into the Champions League and you still want to move away, then we'll happily make sure that the move gets finalized, bro. Because honestly, if you drag us to the Champions League and that's your parting gift, then fine. It is what it is. But I prefer to keep him. Why? Because you need somebody like Enzo Fernandez in your squad. But Cole Palmer's got to wake up, man. Palmer's got to wake up. He had good moments today, but Palmer's got to wake up. And Liam Rossini really needs to understand the English game. You're getting torn apart in almost every single game now, bro, because teams are figuring you out so damn early. How many mistakes did we make in the back today? And you can't keep saying I'm going to take accountability for the players making mistakes on the pitch. No, that's individual responsibility at that point. Wesley Fofana is a joke, man. He doesn't care. And this is why you need to get players like him out of the club and get some serious players up in there, man. You really have to. There's no reason why Chelsea should be sitting sixth in the Premier League. But with the squad that they assembled, maybe sixth is exactly where they need to be. It's just a reality. And you can't rely on Aston Villa winning the Champions League because 5 spots will probably be guaranteed. And then you can't rely on 6th spot to get the Champions League. That's so crummy to me, bro. Get in the top 4. That should be the bare minimum. That's all we're asking for. But hey, this team is a shambles. This team is a shell of itself. It's no longer Chelsea FC. It's CFC LDN, bro. Like Eunice Talks Football says, bro. Eunice Talks Chelsea, whatever you want to call this guy. CFC LDN. That's what we're watching out here. And it's a fucking disgrace. And these owners are honestly gaslighting the entire fan base. This is why the fan base needs to continue to voice their frustration, man. Losing 3 of 5 is crazy, bro. With Man United dropping points, Liverpool losing, and Aston Villa having a pretty tricky game against West Ham, and Aston Villa have lost 3 in a row in the league. This is why these 3 points were so important. And ever since I said that Chelsea need to be on 49 points by the end of February, they're stuck on 48 going into the international break, going into April on 48 points. How embarrassing. You don't pick up any points in the month of March. Embarrassing. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night. Again, Chelsea lose 3-0. They're in a shambles. I'm going to say this. Go get Enzo Maresca back, bro. Do what you got to do. Or bring in some elite manager because this is bullshit, bro. I'm so sick and tired of this. Bring somebody with experience, or bring some experience heads into the squad and sell up. Just get the fuck out of the club. You guys have done enough damage. But that being said, I'm Jason. No Filter Chelsea. I appreciate everyone watching. Like, comment, sub, share this video. Do what you guys have been doing. I appreciate you guys subbing lately, liking the videos, doing all that good stuff. It really helps my channel grow. And other videos will be popping up at the end of this. Other videos should have been popping up throughout the thing. So with that being said, guys, I'm out. Jason, no flip the Chelsea. Up the Chelsea, keep the blue flag flying high. Blue Co, Clear Lake, Egbali, Feliciano, Bowley, Viss, Winstanley, Stewart, Joe Shields, get the fuck out of the club. We don't need you here anymore. We need a serious buyer to buy this club. Please. Please. We're all asking for it, man. But yeah, I'm out. Peace, guys.